Hey everybody, it's Dr. McVeary here with our Module 1 kickoff. I want to go through and just describe the workflow and just kind of talk about what we're doing. So in this module, we're trying to define what is children's literature. But I want you to not just look at it as defining by the positive, but also thinking about what is always counted as not children's literature. So whose voices are amplified and whose voices are lost? We really want to explore that and try to define and come up with a shared definition of children's literature. That's our classroom goal for this module. So I'm going to share my screen and just go over some of the workflow. So if you are in our Slack group, you can go to the Children's Lit channel. If you need to add a channel, just click on channel and you can browse all the channels to look for them. In the Children's Lit channel, I've pinned the annotation group. In the general channel, I have pinned the syllabus, our annotation group, and our class website. So I'm going to click on the class website here, and that will open up. And the first module is what is children's literature. There's some overview questions there for you to think about. They really frame it, like what does it mean to teach with children's literature? Is this different than teaching with instructional texts? And who is it that gets to decide what counts as children's literature and what voices are silenced along the way? So through reading, writing, and participating, we're really going to dive into these issues. And the texts are divided. The first two texts, fractionated texts, and Tim Martin's on what is children's literature, get it trying to just define. First, before we define children's literature, we need to define as what counts as text. And then Bridget Alverson tries to expand our definition of text, like do graphic novels count? Meisha Wynn takes that even further and explores literacy spaces in out-of-school communities, especially communities of color, and as in what wouldn't count as literature in school, like say hip-hop performances, dance, graffiti, literacies that aren't counted in school, that are counted in our in the communities where our children come from. So your tasks are to complete the readings. Meisha Wynn is set up to annotate, and I'll go over that in a second. Then you have to write a reflection on the readings. So that's one blog post in the readings. Finally, you have a performance task to do. You can either share a definition of literacy without using any words, or you can write another post and compare storytellers to alchemists. So those are kind of the two tasks. With the annotations, what you do is once you sign in, you're in our group, EDU 3 Fall 17, and you can highlight text, and that will then make the menu pop up for annotation. Once you highlight, you can then annotate. This is focusing. And then you just post to the group. So that's how you annotate. Now, in the general channel, then you can go back. Once you finish a blog post, you can then post it to this group. You just copy the link, post to the group. Other people in the class will comment on your post. They might go to your blog and leave some comments. My general rule is if you're talking about the content of the post, you have questions for the author, do it publicly on their blog. But if you want to criticize the writings or give them tips, do that privately in Slack. You can discuss in Slack all you want. Now, the goal is for everyone to hang out in each of the channels during the modules. This is an online class, so that's what kind of counts for your participation in the class. Are you hanging out, commenting with other people, and doing that? I've also set up the badge channel here. And to apply for the badges, you can see down here, all you have to do is mention apply for badge, and that will start the bot. Anytime you want to respond to the bot, as long as you include apply for badge, it will work. A couple of people have done it already, and you can go in and look at their examples. So that's pretty much our first module. If you have any questions, just let me know.